Coming up on WUFT Midday, the Department of Education is facing major layoffs through the Trump administration. We'll tell you how this could be affecting federal funding.
And a world-class competition is coming back to Ocala. We'll tell you what's new and about the event.
Plus, your grocery prices are rising. We'll show you how some shoppers are making changes to minimize cost. WUFT Midday starts right now.
Watching WUFT Midday.
The Department of Education is next on the chopping block for the Trump administration. There are calls for the elimination of the department, which would affect federal oversight and grants. This is WUFT Midday. I'm Jessica Wilkinson.
And I'm Kade Sowers. Plus, NBC's Alice Barr reports President Trump has imposed new higher taxes on some goods brought into the United States last night.
This morning, major cuts to the Department of Education, with the announcement nearly half its staff, roughly 1,300 career employees, will be out of a job. Education Secretary Linda McMahon called it eliminating bureaucratic bloat and a step toward President Trump's ultimate goal.
This directive to me clearly is to shut down the Department of Education.
That would require an act of Congress, though the president has talked repeatedly about leaving school policy to the states, setting off alarm among many parents like Lindsay Latham, who worries about losing federal oversight and grant funding for special education services children like her son Calvin rely on.
To make sure that their kid is being treated fairly and given the opportunity to learn like any other kid. If we go backwards, we are going to see such a regression in the most vulnerable population.
Secretary McMahon saying the department will still deliver on special education funding and other statutory programs. From nervous parents to rattled markets, Wall Street saw more losses Tuesday as another bout in the Trump trade war takes effect today. 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from around the world. Some U.S. allies striking back. The European Union this morning announcing retaliatory tariffs on billions of dollars worth of goods imported into Europe, from boats to motorbikes and alcohol, beginning April 1st. Amid the uncertainty, President Trump rejecting growing concerns about a possible recession.
I don't see it at all. I think this country is going to boom.
Adamant his sweeping tariffs will strengthen the U.S. economy. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Ukraine is ready to accept a 30-day ceasefire in the war with Russia. WUFT's Bailey Perdue joins us live to tell us what's involved in that deal that took hours to reach.
The United States will immediately lift a pause on intelligence sharing with Ukraine and resume providing security assistance to the government and its forces. This deal comes 3 years after Moscow's invasion. The future of U.S. support for Ukraine on-camera confrontation between President Donald Trump and President Vladimir Zelensky. President Zelensky issued a statement after the announcement, writing, "Ukraine is ready to accept this proposal." Secretary of State Marco Rubio and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz announced the deal after hours of negotiation with Ukrainian leaders in Saudi Arabia.
The shooting stops, the fighting stops, and the talking starts. That's what we want to see. What happens during that talking and how that evolves, I think we're going to have to be flexible and nimble and creative and patient and work hard at it and hopefully turn it into something that's concrete.
President Zelensky went on saying, "We see it as a positive step and are ready to take it. Now it is up to the United States to convince Russia to do the same." He also mentioned if Russia agrees, the ceasefire will take effect immediately. Live in the studio, Bailey Perdue, WUFT News.
On college campuses, the Trump administration is warning them that they could lose federal funding if they don't tackle anti-Semitism. The Department of Education has sent a warning letter to 60 schools. This comes as the Trump administration has been critical of what he calls illegal pro-Palestinian protests on campuses and the arrest of Mohammed Khalil at Columbia University on Saturday for protesting. One American university student says she is grateful for the Trump administration.
I'm very grateful that the Trump administration is finally holding universities accountable for allowing anti-Semitism to thrive.
Kale and some of her Jewish classmates have filed a civil rights complaint against the university last year. Another student says he feels inspired to prevent what he calls harassment on campus.
What I've went through during that time is something I won't wish on my worst enemy, you know. Because of this, I feel so inspired to go prevent this from happening again.
American University has said it's committed to supporting its Jewish community. It is implementing updated policies, opposing boycotts against Israel, and addressing anti-Semitism in a required first-year course. Other universities like George Mason University have also received a warning letter.
It was chilly this morning, and after the wind earlier this week, we're looking at warmer temperatures for the rest of the week. UF meteorologist William Maxham joins us live in the weather studio to tell you how much we are heating up the rest of today and how warm it's getting this weekend.
Yep, the temperatures are moving up, Jess, and we're expecting 80-degree highs this afternoon. Currently, though, 66 degrees after temperatures were into the 40s earlier this morning. Just had an update. Now it's 70 degrees on campus. Again, temperatures are going to move up to right around 80 degrees this afternoon, and it is going to be into the 80s, but currently it's still in the upper 60s. Palatka, Bronson, 68 degrees. And today we're quiet, high pressure keeping that sunshine with us, but storms will be blossoming here later today, and some of the remnants of these storms will head our way into Florida tomorrow. Severe weather concerns for some hail and gusty winds there. We're looking dry through the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll be around 80 degrees today, but we'll see changes by the weekend. The sunshine goes away and showers return. We're going to track a weekend cold front and a round of rain coming up in a few minutes.
Firefighters in Marion County are working to learn what caused a house fire that killed 2 dogs Tuesday morning. Crews were called to the fire at a mobile home on Southeast 22nd Lane in Silver Springs. The fire was quickly put out and the homeowner had to be hospitalized due to smoke inhalation. The American Red Cross was called in to help other people in the home who were displaced.
You might have gotten a text recently asking you to pay your Florida tolls. Don't pay it. Marion County Sheriff's Office says scammers are sending fake texts to pay tolls with links. SunPass officials say they do not text you for payments. Those will be sent by mail. Deputies say delete the message and block the number. If you have any questions, check your SunPass account on the official website.
The Budweiser Clydesdales are on display this week here in North Central Florida. They have several shows at Live Oak International in Ocala. Every year, Live Oak International transforms Ocala into an equestrian paradise. 16 nations, 200 horses, over 16,000 people, and all in one weekend. The president of Live Oak International says the support for the event is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable the support we get from the local community. I mean, we have 200 volunteers that come out just to help us put on this event too, and I think that really speaks for itself, and a lot of them have been coming longer than I'm alive to help support this event.
Competitions in driving and show jumping attract thousands of spectators, creating ripple effects throughout the local economy. Volunteers and local businesses come together to put on the event. The first place winner gets more than $50,000. The event starts tomorrow and ends on Sunday.
Several Alachua County eateries will be featured on the first episodes of a popular Food Network show later this week. Diners, drive-ins, and dives and Guy Fieri hosts visited local spots such as Fehrenbacher Meats and Eats, Germain's Chicken Sandwiches, and Humble Wood Fire Bagel Shop back in December. County leaders say after serving as a film location for a Netflix show, Alachua County has supported different film projects over the past 5 years. African Sicilian and Sausage will be the first episode to air, featuring Fehrenbacher's Meats and Eats on Friday, March 14th at 9 p.m.
Alachua County Libraries are stitching together art and community with second annual 2025 Quilt Trail. More than 100 quilts are on display at all 12 library locations throughout the month of March. The trail features new and antique quilts made from 3 local quilter guilds. With quilts of various size and design, visitors can pick up a Quilt Trail passport at any library location. The passport includes a stamp list to track visits to each library in the Alachua district. Beyond the quilts, this trail also offers residents the opportunity to explore other counties.
You know, it's a great chance for people that haven't seen the whole county to sort of travel around, get to places like Newberry, Hawthorne, Waldo, Micanopy, and check out not only the community, but the libraries that are there.
The quilts will be on display at all Alachua County Library District locations until March 31st.
Today, Alachua County law enforcement is serving locals at Hurricane BTW restaurant from 4 to 8 p.m. The tips collected will go to supporting Special Olympic athletes as part of the Torch Run program. The county says the tips will support their training and competitions. The torch runs will start tomorrow and Friday in Nassau County. If you're looking to get on the road for lunch, let's first see if you're going to be hitting any traffic.
Now let's take and we're going to take a look at the weather with our UF meteorologist, William Maxham. William, how's that weather?
Yep, we are looking generally sunny today. Temperatures will make it up to right around 80 degrees this afternoon. It's going to be cloudier tomorrow. Wet weather is on the way, but we've got a few more days till that arrives today. It's going to be around 80, currently 70 after a very cool start in the upper 40s. Some fog in the first part of this morning, but that has all gone away. We'll enjoy sun through the rest of the afternoon and clear skies this evening. 79, Lake City 77. And across city today, thunderstorms will be blossoming southeastern Oklahoma and northeastern Texas. This weather maker going to make for some storms that are going to move close by, but I think we're going to see almost no impact at all from these storms. Just an increase in clouds tomorrow, which may keep us out of the 80s. Here's that front that's producing the storms today and tomorrow. That's really not going to impact us. It's this front here that's our next weather maker for the weekend. That moves through on Saturday into Sunday and will give us a round of rain for the end of the weekend. As the storms die down late tonight into tomorrow morning, some of those storms may hang on through a good chunk of the day tomorrow. Clouds will move in into our area, but the storms themselves will stay well to our north and west. So let's track this system here. Storms blossom today. This heads our way, and then we'll see those lingering showers and storms across Alabama and parts of southern Georgia and into North Florida tomorrow. Again, just a few clouds for us. We'll not quite get into the 80s. That's our biggest impact from those storms. However, this weekend, this is Saturday at 11 o'clock. Some pretty strong thunderstorms lining up across far western parts of the Panhandles through about Panama City. After midnight, those storms move eastward, move through the capital area and into north central Florida just after sunrise on Sunday. Sunday, folks headed home from church, probably going to see some rain around that time, and showers and thunderstorms will continue through at least the early part of Sunday evening, but perhaps rain could linger as long as the early part of Monday as well before we start to clear out. Should be a healthy dose of rain coming in at 24 hours from about noon on Sunday through noon on Monday, but Saturday all clear. Temperatures will be warming up before that cold front arrives into the mid and upper 80s. Around 80 degrees on Sunday as the clouds and showers roll through. How much rain are we going to get this weekend? Probably at least a half inch, but I think we could see some totals a little more than 1 inch, maybe as much as 2 inches in a couple spots, but the showers move out. We get a brief cool down, but we're still right around average midweek temperatures into the mid 70s to near 80 degrees.
Now let's head over to our Noticias partners for a look at today's top stories for our Spanish language audience.
Hola, soy Kahn con tus noticias en 90 segundos. Una isla que antes tenía una abundancia de negocios y recursos, ahora se encuentra buscando oportunidades para restablecer su comercio local pidiendo apoyo a sus turistas. Después del huracán Helene, el pasado septiembre, los ciudadanos de Cedar Key se encuentran viajando frecuentemente por 45 minutos para llegar al supermercado, ya que lo más cercano a la ciudad es una tienda de Dollar General. Los residentes han empezado a organizar mercados de agricultura para la comunidad local y así poder beneficiarse entre ellos. También piden que los turistas se acerquen y disfruten de las bellezas de su comunidad. Ayer el Departamento de Educación anunció una reducción drástica en su mano de obra. Cerca de 1.300 empleados van a recibir una nota de terminación. La secretaria de Educación, Maxham, dijo que los despidos reflejan el compromiso con la eficiencia, la rendición de cuentas y la garantía de que los recursos se dirijan a los estudiantes, los padres y los maestros. Maxham también dijo que esta decisión será el primer paso hacia el cierre del departamento, pero el presidente no puede unilateralmente deshacerse de una agencia federal sin aprobación del Congreso. La búsqueda de la estudiante desaparecida durante sus vacaciones en República Dominicana ha dado lugar a un nuevo avance. Sudikshka Konanki fue vista por última vez en un video de vigilancia entrando a una playa con otras personas en la madrugada del jueves y aún se desconoce su paradero. Joshua Reed fue nombrado persona de interés y ha sido entrevistado, pero aún no se han presentado cargos penales. La investigación, que incluye al FBI y las autoridades locales, continúa y la policía está revisando las grabaciones de seguridad y redoblando sus esfuerzos. Esas fueron tus noticias en 90 segundos. Gracias por sintonizarnos.
In light of President Trump's push for tariffs, grocery prices are still on the rise, forcing consumers to reconsider their spending habits and even the way they pay. NBC's Kristen Sowers talks to shoppers who are feeling the effects.
Stocking up the refrigerator for many families is getting harder every day. Some are cutting corners to get what they need and save some cash at the same time.
Now, we don't eat out that much. We may eat out maybe once a month.
And I commute to work. I take the train, so no gas.
Arroz con pollo, Spanish rice with chicken. So you make a big thing of Spanish rice. You shred up your chicken. I throw in peas and make it a big pot.
But for many, that's not enough, and charging basic necessities on credit cards is the only way to get by.
But this stacks over a range of other debts that consumers are carrying. And, that could be mortgage, auto loans, and student loans.
New data from the AARP shows about half of older Americans are charging everyday purchases like gas, food, healthcare expenses, and even utilities, and in debt with an average balance of $5,000.
This is a group that is actually feeling the pain of credit card debt actually more acutely than those over the age of 65. And what's concerning is that this group is got the line of sight to retirement.
It's the only thing I use. I buy my gas, buy my groceries, if we go out to eat.
We met Debbie Tustin outside this Corona grocery store on Tuesday with a packed shopping cart. She's retired, but says she does her homework to stretch every buck. That way she's able to pay off her monthly credit card balance.
I use the coupons, I use the Stater Savers. I don't just shop here. I shop at Aldi's, I shop at Grocery Outlet. Raise my own chicken so I don't have to buy eggs.
That was NBC's Kristen Sowers reporting. Inflation in the U.S. has cooled off for the first time in 4 months, according to the Consumer Price Index. But Trump's trade war could cause consumer costs to rise again. We'll keep you updated on how it's affecting your groceries.
The Arizona Supreme Court has unveiled AI-generated news reporters, and here's what one sounds like.
Hi there, I'm Victoria, one of the Arizona Supreme Court's new AI reporters.
The court says it hopes the new initiative could boost engagement on court-related news. The reporters will provide updates on case decisions, opinions, and other relevant information. So far, there are 2 reporters, Daniel and Victoria, who you just heard from. But the court may introduce new avatars in the future.
Girl Scouts are facing a proposed class action lawsuit. The lawsuit says your favorite cookies may contain heavy metals, pesticides, and other toxins. A New York woman filed the lawsuit in federal court on Monday. The lawsuit cites a study by Moms Across America and GMO Science that claims 100% of the cookies tested contain toxins. But the study is based on a small sample size and was not peer-reviewed or published in a scientific journal. The suit wants $5 million in damage and calls for the disclosure of substances on the packaging. Last month, the Girl Scouts responded to the allegations in a blog post. The organization says the cookies are safe to eat and are manufactured in line with all food safety regulations. Now let's get over to First at 5, WFT's First at 5 anchor Juan Carlos Chali for a look at what's coming up on the channel at First at 5.
Well, Jessica and Kade, today's show is a bit of a serious one. Let's see what's coming up later today on First at 5. To start, we're going live from a press conference about the 3 dogs killed in January by police. Then a school board meeting allows parents to voice their concerns about a controversial new policy in Alachua County. Finally, a SpaceX mission later today expects to bring a couple astronauts home. Now, Jessica and Kade, I will say we will have footage of the launch later today on First at 5.
Sounds like a lot's coming up too, and I gotta say I've been down to the beach down south to see those launches, and they're quite the spectacle.
And I, for one, am aware that you need pretty clear skies for those launches. Can you tell us any about that?
Things are working out good for clear skies. High pressure is keeping those skies clear today. We're going to be around 80 degrees this afternoon. Tomorrow is cloudier. That's really the only difference, and that's going to keep us just a smidge cooler. Highs will be in the upper 70s tomorrow. Our weather changes as we get into the weekend. A cold front moving through on Sunday. That's going to give us a round of showers and thunderstorms, possibly some on the strong side with gusty winds over 60 miles an hour. And rain could linger into early Monday behind the showers. We're somewhat cooler, but still pretty close to average for our highs Tuesday, back in the mid-70s.
Thanks for joining us here at WFT Midday. We're here back tomorrow for another edition.
We'll see you later today for First at 5 on Channel 5 as well. Have a great afternoon.